Hello, everyone. I am Anita Dzelme from EUFRAS, and today we again meet in EUFRAS Coffee Break. And thank you for coming today. Today our theme is how EU-FarmBook can strengthen your daily advisory work. So you as an advisor have the opportunities to...
Vamos lá, Ray.
Sorry, there is some background noise.
Não vi muita certo.
Yeah. So just to see how you as an advisors can use this new tool for your advisory work. So, and today me, Anita Dzelme from EUFRAS will be presenting. Robby Cloesen from Boerenbond projects will tell you about what can you get from the EU-FarmBook, and Eduard Mauri from European Forest Institute will tell how to get your own content in EU-FarmBook. So yes, today at least there are registered 96 people from 21 countries. So I guess the interest is quite good. So let's go with our work today on. So the EU-FarmBook is a European project within which the EU-FarmBook platform is created, and there are a lot of different stakeholders involved in the creation of EU-FarmBook. And these are starting from the ones who program it and make it happening visually and in other ways, so we can reach it. And then there are a lot of organizations like EUFRAS, like EURAGRI, like iFoam, who help with the contents and accessibility for the users of the EU-FarmBook platform. So in the future, it's most useful for everyone. And where does it come from? As you know, as an advisors, you really often have to search for different kind of new information to help your farmers, and often this content and very good information is created during different kind of projects. But there is a problem with that, because when project ends, the information tends to disappear with it in a while. And even there is a project and the information is there is a big possibility that you will never find it, because it's under some hidden places, not really hidden places, but not always search engines find what we really need for and find valuable information. So EU-FarmBook comes with this solution where a lot of information comes into one place, and what kind of information will be told you later. And so basically it solves your needs as users, as those who want to find an information to help your farmers. And it also helps for EU projects to become visible, to become findable, and to help share the valuable information that is prepared within these projects. Right now, EU-FarmBook was launched for very public use just last year, December. And right now there are more than 2,000 projects registered in the platform with content uploaded, and also within those there are 261 horizon projects and more than 1,500 of operational groups projects. So if you see your place here, you're welcome to upload your content as well. And Eduard will later tell you how it works. But to be more clear, I will start the information with a short video about where you can get the info. What is EU-FarmBook?
Als boer vandaag is het heel moeilijk om te weten wat er vandaag speelt in de onderzoekswereld.
En la investigación es muy fácil sentirse desconectado de los usuarios finales.
Viņš meklē kaut kādu problēmu risinājumu, kas ir bijis ārpus robežām.
I try to go
Het mooiste wat ik vind op een landbouwbedrijf is om ondernemer te zijn. Het EU-FarmBook kan mij helpen om over de grenzen heen op zoek te gaan naar informatie, waar ik het ook in mijn eigen taal kan verstaan, want er zit een vertalingsoptie bij.
The chatbot helps summarize results from several projects extremely fast.
EU-FarmBook te fuerza a asignar los metadatos adecuados a tus resultados de investigación.
Un arī FarmBooks nāk palīgā, kas ir ļoti vienkāršā valodā, saimniekam saprotamā valodā, nevis tikai zinātniskajos rakstos.
It's extremely important to have a centralized overview of projects' results.
La investigación está llegando a otros públicos.
Om de landbouwsector naar een hoger niveau te tillen.
EU-FarmBook is more than a tool. It's a bridge where research meets reality. Because when we understand each other, we grow together.
So yes, thank you. This was a short introduction about what's going on today, what we are talking about, and I invite Robby Cloesen from Boerenbond to be the next presenter. And as always, please feel free to add your questions to a chat, not to forget them. And also, there will be a possibility to ask the questions after each presentation.
Onko teillä paljon puuhaa tässä yleensä?
Yeah, thank you, Robby.
Hello, yes, hello. I think Kari has his or her microphone still on. Thank you. Good morning. I am Robby Cloesen from Boerenbond Projects. I work as a consultant digital innovation, and I'm one of the 2 EU ambassadors for Belgium, the EU-FarmBook ambassadors. You already got a glimpse of the platform in the video, and yeah, most important to know is that the access to the platform is free, and that the platform is structured according to the FAIR principles: findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. The primary goal of EU-FarmBook is to ensure that the best practices come from the projects to the field. As the video said, it's a bridge. We want to reach the people that put that research in practice. First of all, farmers and foresters, but very important are also the advisors, because we often hear farmers don't have time to look for information or have to be guided a little bit. And there's a very important role for all you attending as advisors or other rural actors. We also hear often, another platform. Our main goal is not to compete with existing platforms, but we are complementary to them. As I mentioned, our unique selling point is that we want to target the people in the field. In the video, you also saw it's a multilingual hub. So the platform itself is available in 24 EU languages. There are also AI-assisted smart search functions. One note is the content of the projects is available in the 6 main languages. We are still investigating options because we got a lot of feedback also from people that want the content in their native language. And as any platform, we have a solid search function. When you enter the main page, you can just go ahead. Once you've found some contributions that might be interesting, you can also filter them on the side according to the topic or a more detailed theme. And there's also a possibility to search for projects. So if you already know the acronym, you can go straight away to the project and find out more. And another thing we mentioned is that, and we're quite proud of, is our farm assistant chatbot. And it's very important to know that this chatbot has been trained with information that has been uploaded to the platform. It's not like ChatGPT, for example, that looks on the whole internet and hallucinates also sometimes with information that's very scattered. Here we are sure that it's fed with information from EU projects, which has been reviewed. It is an advantage, but at the moment is also a little disadvantage because you might be disappointed with the answer you get. ChatGPT seems to know everything, but sometimes it also makes up the answers. When our farm assistant doesn't know it, good, he's honest and he doesn't invent the answers. My personal approach there is to ask maybe a little more general question, like for example here in this screenshot, what do you know about A2 milk? And he will start looking in the projects and he will come with an answer. And you can still go more specific on that answer, but it's more likely there is an answer when you have like a more general question and you can start fine-tuning. That's my personal opinion. And then also important to know there is support. If you are facing problems, we have a general support form, but we also have our EU-FarmBook ambassadors. Here you can see the blue dots for each country. The link is also on this page. I think Anita is also going to drop it in the chat. And we are there to really help you by using the platform. If you have bugs, we prefer you use the form on the website. But also if you are involved in projects and you want to get your content uploaded, or later Eduard will also explain if you have like a national knowledge repository and you want to get your national collection on EU-FarmBook, that's why we are here as ambassadors. So yeah, you're always free to contact us. And then a strong feature of EU-FarmBook is this dedicated project page. A lot of projects invest in websites, and they make a nice website. After a few years, the project is done, and as Anita mentioned, the content disappears. So first of all, you can reduce costs. You could use EU-FarmBook as your website, and we have some modules integrated like partner details, news, events, which I will show in a minute. So basically, you're participating in this central knowledge hub, and it's also a tool for your project to become more visible and accessible in the EU during the project, but also after the project. And people working in projects, we would also like them to have it as a living document and not just wait till the project is finished, then upload all the content. No, just start uploading during the project and make a bit of a community around your project with news and events also. And this is a more detailed of the features where you have the news section on the bottom. And on the right side of the slide, you can see like the partners participating in the projects or events that are coming up. Sometimes I get a question like, yeah, but I have a bigger project and the site is limited. We are aware of that. If you have a big horizon project and you want to do some very fancy stuff on your website, okay, that we can't do, but it doesn't mean you can't keep the platform as the backbone for your project content. Eduard will also explain that later. So it can be used by small and big projects, and for smaller projects with a more simple website, it can be a real advantage. You can use that funding for other relevant research tasks in your project. And then, we hear a lot, but EU CAP network also has the practice abstracts. What's different? Well, practice abstracts, most of the time, it's limited to 2,000 characters. There are no visuals. It's all a bit short on real information for farmers and foresters. We focus on all kinds of documents, text documents, videos, presentations, whatever. We will have a look at some examples. And we also make guidelines in the project that you can use to make your content of your project output more interesting for the target group. So some examples. Integrated pest management, I think, is a very important topic for advisors. And a nice example of a project here is Smart Protect. You can go directly to the project search, look for the project, and you will see they have they have about 105 publications. They were very active, and they also have valuable information. They made, for example, a fact sheet per crop. And if we look to that fact sheet, first of all, it was made in English, but as I mentioned, you can get an AI translation into several, the 6 main European languages: French, Spanish, German, Polish, and Italian. And when you open the document, you see it's structured quite well. It's clear there are sections about monitoring, diagnostics and detection, decision support, and application systems. The content itself is well structured. It explains what it is, the technical readiness level, the targets, and the used technology. The only thing missing here is maybe a link to another source or document going more into detail, but I think that was not the target of this project. So I'm still Googling or looking for more information. This is a very helpful structure. And as I said, the only things missing are, for example, references or contact information that when you want to know more. And another example is EcoStack. In this case, a user manual companion cropping and strategies to control insect pests. They have the practice principles, the research context, the main results, etc. They pinpoint the issues they had during the project, and very important, there is contact information, and you can see all the partners that participated in the project. Another example of content that's very valuable about a topic that's a bit still taboo, maybe, and the farmers' well-being. We just had a research in the Walloon region in Belgium, where that's one of the biggest issues in farming. This project happened before in several countries: Greece, Hungary, Belgium, Romania. And it shows here, I'm going to just show a quick look at the video, but it shows some testimonials of farmers that had issues, advisory services that are working around the topic. So we'll have a short look.
Ik denk dat de boeren zeer moeilijk over hun problemen praten, omdat ze misschien te fier zijn.
Sometimes it's hard to be a farmer today. That's why farmers, farming organizations, and researchers in Europe got together to look for solutions. In this series, we present 6 social innovations. Projects that help improve the mental, social, and physical well-being of farmers, their families, and communities. Let's take you on a journey to 6 stories of farmers who are doing things differently. Today, we travel to Belgium. Let's be honest, sometimes it's really hard to be a farmer today. How can we prevent life becoming unbearable? Meet Lut, Dirk, and Els, outspoken heroes of a taboo-breaking training by farmers on a crossroads.
Ik denk dat de boeren zeer...
Yeah, we're not gonna watch the complete video, but it's a good way of telling, first introducing the project, having the testimonials, and then also having the outcome or the policy recommendations that the project can do. So you have everything in one video. And as a farmers organization, we also notice our members really like videos, podcasts, because it's something they can also do when they're on the tractor on the field. And this is another example of a project in the Mediterranean for irrigation at vineyards. And it's also well structured, because a lot of times you see an introduction of the operational group and their targets, and in the end, nobody really knows what happened. Also just gonna offer a quick look.
Why use this technique? Climate change has made vintages more frequent throughout Europe, in which vines experience severe water stress during the summer months. Irrigation is no longer an occasional requirement, and many vineyards are being equipped with fixed drip irrigation systems. However, in the implementation of which the great variability that exists within vineyards, especially on hillsides, must be taken into account. Precision irrigation system makes it possible to modulate water supply, the number working per linear meters of individual plants.
So there's also the results of the project, which are very important.
Water savings are achieved by balancing the 28% increase in water volumes contributed to areas of low vigor with the 35% reduction in water contributed to areas of high vigor.
In this case, it also shows the translation was done with a separate AI, but it also offers the power. And the voice is maybe not the most pleasant, but is an ideal tool of sharing your local national project to the rest of Europe and get it on EU-FarmBook to share. And then another example, as I said, I'm consultant digital innovation. It's about virtual fencing.
Hi! What if I told you that fences can be virtual and that animals can understand where they should and should not go? You might say yeah when pigs fly, but bear with me. Virtual fencing for grazing livestock, it's already out there. This technology creates a GPS boundary controlled by an app, allowing farmers to not only save time, but also contain cattle with the movement of a single index finger. When animals approach a virtual fence, a smart collar gives them an audio cue of its location, followed by an electric pulse. Animals soon respond to the sound, either stopping or moving away from that invisible but comprehensible boundary. So, I rest my case about virtual fencing. The potential to influence where and when animals graze is...
Yeah. So these were some examples of the kind of material we're looking for. Eduard will explain how we can get it on the platform. Anita, maybe we can first do a small Q&A in the meantime, or...
Yeah, we could. Thank you. There are questions from Anda. Do you want to ask them on screen, or should I read them?
No, it's fine. I think Eduard already answered that he will cover those in his presentation, so I'll wait
Yes,
for that.
exactly.
Here.
So
Okay.
in a couple of minutes, you will have your answers.
Okay. Then there is also a question from Yaroslav about the search, because the text is, if I put the integrated pest management input in the project search field on the EU-FarmBook website, as it demonstrated, in my hands it yields different results. For example, I cannot see the smart project which was mentioned. Why the difference? Who can answer that? But maybe
that's a good question. I got that question from other project involved people also. Sometimes it looks in the content of the documents for the search, not always in the contributor or for example, in this search, I've just used pest because it could be that integrated pest management is not really used, that all these words are not used in a certain document. So that might also explain why you sometimes don't see a result. In Belgium, we have an organization which is called PC Fruit, but also Praktijk Centrum voor de Fruitteelt. They ask me the same question when they look with both terms. Sometimes they have different results, but it's because the search also uses the content of the document and not the publisher.
Yeah, so if I might ask also like this, so because you demonstrated it with this particular search term, the integrated pest management, and it yields you the smart projects. And in my like outputs from the search, if I put it with the same keywords, it ends up with totally different results. So the smart project is even not mentioned within the outcomes. So is this like something that is common? So if two people from two different computers type the same string, it yields different results?
No, that should not be the case. The search works globally. It's hard to say no what exactly is going on. We also have to check with the tech team, but I think we will send that definitely to them to have a look. In my search, I search for pest, just general, not for integrated pest management. So that's maybe explains the difference then. But we'll take it up for the tech team. Yeah.
Okay, because now I put only the pest and it yields much more results.
It's because
of results, but yeah.
It could be that integrated is missing in that document, and that might be the reason why it doesn't show it up.
But also the smart project is not, I could not see within the results, even the smart project that you demonstrated, even with only the pest keyword. So maybe it would be nice to good answer.
Important is also to know the search looks for contributions. So for documents or videos. The project search is very specific if you look for the project. So I think even putting the project name in the normal search might not guide you directly to that project.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thanks. So I guess we can go to the next presenter, Eduard. You're free to present and answer the questions already arrived.
Thank you so much, Anita. So here comes the question is, do you generate practical knowledge? Because you may be involved in projects that produce the kind of knowledge that Robby has shown, and you may be interested in bringing this knowledge available in EU-FarmBook to benefit from the features that Robby presented. So I will answer this, but first, to make sure that you understand the phrase that I will use, some EU-FarmBook jargon. So project, as I've said, is the action where a knowledge is generated. And this is important because all pieces of knowledge that you find in EU-FarmBook are generated within projects. This means that if you are an independent advisor or a farmer and say, oh, I will make a PDF or a video to present one practice I do in my farm and I will upload in EU-FarmBook. No, this is not possible. What is in EU-FarmBook must be generated within a project. This is a way to ensure quality, because if we would let farmers to upload in EU-FarmBook their own experiences, they may be biased, or they may be not technically sound or scientifically proven. So the way to go via a project is a way to ensure the quality. Maybe you will hear that I say, or some other EU-FarmBook team people say, knowledge object. Well, knowledge object is the same as a contribution. Is a standing alone piece of information containing practice-oriented knowledge. And this is important, is practice-oriented knowledge. As you have seen, Robby has not presented scientific articles, because scientific articles are for researchers. Here we want material for farmers, for foresters, for managers, for advisors like you. And usually this knowledge object stands in one single file. But they do not come alone. They come with metadata. Metadata is additional information that you attach to this knowledge object that explains it, and is usually used to locate and retrieve it. Think about title, the author, a short description, etc. Finally, the term that we should use towards the audience like you is contribution. A contribution is the same as a knowledge object. And we have the contributor. The contributor is the person who uploads a knowledge object in EU-FarmBook. And then we have the project coordinator. We said that anything in EU-FarmBook comes from project. And the project coordinator has two main actions. He or she is the one who requests the project to be visible in EU-FarmBook. And second, he or she can appoint a contributor from any project partner. So to answer the question that was asked in the chat, anyone in a project can upload content in EU-FarmBook. Doesn't necessarily to be the coordinator, not even the coordinating organization, can be any partner, but this person must be appointed by the project coordinator. So now that you are aware of this jargon, you say, oh, I'm in a project. How can my project contribute to EU-FarmBook, or can my project contribute to EU-FarmBook? It was another another question in the chat. So first, all EIP Agri projects can be in EU-FarmBook, of course. We have talked about here are operational groups, rural development programs projects, or other projects funded by EU on based on rural development funding. Also, Cluster 6, Horizon 2020, Horizon Europe projects. If you know, Cluster 6 is the cluster related to agriculture, forestry, food production, etc. So they are admissible. And then there are other projects from other EU funding schemes like LIFE, Erasmus+, etc. These projects, if they respect the topics of EU-FarmBook, they can request to be on the platform. As you see on the slide, it said under request because for the EIP Agri family projects and from the Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe Cluster 6, we have all them listed in the backend. So we know that they exist, we have already recorded, and we know that they are admissible. For other EU funding schemes, we don't have this list, so you have to request and justify why your project should be there. And not only at EU level, but only projects funded by your national governments or by your regional governments are also admissible in EU-FarmBook, again, as long as they respect the topics of FarmBook and they must be requested. So feel free. There is a form that you will find when you want to contribute, and there, if you are registered as coordinator, but you do not find your project listed because it's not an EAP Agri project and it's not a Horizon project, then you can request your project to be present via a form. So now let's jump to real case demonstrations. I will show some usage of the project pages. I will show you, this was also another question, how to manually upload content in EU-FarmBook, and is AI assisted, so it makes your life faster and easier, and how you can make your own collections. So 2 cases, how existing projects have used EU-FarmBook to curate a collection. You will see they are very nice results, and here you will find the links in case this presentation is shared if you want to review the material that I will show. So these are live demonstrations directly from the browser, so it should work. So you should be seeing now the EU-FarmBook website. If you want to find the project, the best way, as Robby said, do not type the project in the search. It's better to go in the project tab, and you find it here. For example, I will use a project that I've been coordinating that is called Alliance, and you search and you get, takes a while. Okay. Here it is. So you click and you get to the project page. What Robby showed. This is how project pages are seen now. So you find the title, the acronym of the project, a description that it's up to you to provide this description, the logo, some data about the project. So very useful to know, is the project still running or it's already finished? And then the different tabs that we thought that it's the minimum that a project page should have. So the contributions, and here you have them all listed. It's expected in the future. Some of these features will change. For example, I know that the IT team is working to have here a search engine to search specifically within a project results, because if your project has only 3 or 4 contributions, maybe the search function is not necessary. But this project, look, there are 79 pages, 10 knowledge object sheets, so 790. Would be nice to have a search engine here. For the project details, also, it's up to you or to the project coordinator to provide the details on the project. You can embed images, you can embed links, you can add here if you want to provide contact details. In this case, there is only the coordinator, but you could even list all the project partners here. Project partners as institutions. In the future, you will see the logo, and a section of news and a section of events. There are not a lot of news or events because we started when the project pages were launched. Rise Alliance project was nearly at its end. So you may imagine that a project like small projects like operational groups that usually don't have so much budget, this page is for you for free. So as soon as you upload 1 contribution, the project page is active, or I think that even you can request the project page to be activated even before having any contributions, because then you can start with the so you can start filling the different the different sections. Okay, so when you are a project coordinator, you can manage your project also from the back end. This is not seen by the users. And for example, for Rise Alliance, for each one of the contributions, you can see something quite interesting, that is the statistics. So for a given period of time that you can adjust, for example, let's see, I want to see for the last year how this knowledge object was seen. And I see that this specific knowledge object, so GPS colors, was seen 127 times, downloaded 5 times, and how, from where did people come from to reach that specific knowledge object, and how much time they spent in that page. Because, as what we said, each knowledge object has a project, a knowledge object page, taking a little bit of time. So is this one? So how long this 56 seconds is how long do people spend on that page, maybe reading the description, the metadata, or reading the knowledge object itself. And if they click in download, it is shown in the statistics. Then how to add a contribution. Let's see, you have to be logged in, then you select among your projects that you manage, because you may be managing more than one project. You click on add, you select your project, add contribution, and you get to this form. Your project is here. So the next step is adding the contribution, either as a PDF file, or if you have a video that it's already in YouTube, Vimeo, Spotify, or other online video repositories, you can add a link. Then it's only the link that is saved. It's not the video itself. So if your video is in YouTube and YouTube crashes, you will lose the access. Here, okay, there is already one knowledge object. And okay, I will try to reset this page because the process is already started. I wanted to show the process since the beginning. Okay, so landscape, you search your project. It is here, this one, Voice Alliance, next step. You click here, you can simply drag and drop. In this case, a PDF file, it uploads. Then you select the language of the contribution. And this is important. Why? Because imagine that you have a contribution that you have translated manually. So you have, for example, published in English and in your local language. Then you can request add translated version. So then EU-FarmBook will consider that both documents that in fact are the same but translated as the same knowledge object. Then when the uploads finishes, if it goes, okay, we let it upload, and you will see that there are, okay, it's done. When the upload is finished, it appears a metadata extraction. This, in fact, you allow EU-FarmBook to extract the metadata automatically from the document that you have just uploaded. So you extract, and voila. Some of the fields, not all of them, we are working to provide this AI-assisted metadata extraction to more fields, but some of them appear there. So here is a suggestion of title, a suggestion of subtitle, and with these suggestions, you can do 3 things. You can then discard, okay, this has no sense, I put my own title. You say, okay, I agree as it is, so insert, or you can modify, you can add more text, and then it's the version that you will be using. So a combination of AI plus your additions. As you see, some of the metadata fields do not get completed via AI metadata extraction. You have to do it manually, but the IT team is working to make it possible very soon. So for those for which you do not receive any suggestion from AI, you will need to do it completely manually. Similarly, for the keywords, you can discard some keywords. Okay, this is nonsense. I want to add my own keywords, and then it's a combination. You can do a combination of metadata and extracted by AI and your own values. Then you add the contributions, can be a person, can be an institution, and the license. The license is very useful because depending on the license you choose, you allow to reuse the knowledge that you are adding in a different way, so commercial, non-commercial, if others can make derivatives or not, etc. And finally, when all this is complete, you click on Go to Review, all the metadata will be presented, and if you agree, you submit, or you can modify it and then submit. And as soon as it is submitted, it will appear in your project page, and it will have its own knowledge object or contribution page. And finally, I will show you two cases, because especially in big projects that have enough funding, you will have your own project website. And then you say, okay, I want to maintain my own project website, but I want to use EU-FarmBook. How can I integrate both? So I'll give you two examples. Again, one is the Rice Alliance project that I coordinated. You see the typical project website. And when you go to in resources, we created a collection of fact sheets in several languages, and you will find it here in a project webpage. And this maybe looks familiar to you, right? These are the contributions of Rice Alliance in EU-FarmBook. But we didn't put it them manually one by one. That would be very lengthy because, for example, in English, we have 121, but we have in French 120, in Greek, in Italian, in Portuguese, and in Spanish. This is done by what we call an application program interface. And EU-FarmBook has its own application program interface, or API. For those who do not know what is an API is a piece of software that you install in a website, and it retrieves information from another website. So in fact, what is behind the scenes here is this EU-FarmBook API that goes to, or first, it knows what are you searching for. For example, I'm searching for financial solutions in agriculture concerning drought. I don't know if there will be anything related to this. Okay, there are 3 solutions. So the API sends your requirement, so sends your request or your search, because you can also search by words here. It sends your search to EU-FarmBook, specifically to the Rice Alliance contributions, and it returns the contributions that match your search, and they are shown here. So then when users takes a little bit of time, but they will see a preview of the content. You can program the API to show the different type of metadata that you want to show it here. You can program that it's only the title that is shown, or you can program it to show different type of fields, and they see the content that in fact it's in your FarmBook. They see it here. Similarly, this is done for one project, but you can do for multiple projects. So imagine that you are a cluster of projects and say, okay, let's build one single website for a cluster of projects, and we want material about the new FarmBook from this cluster of projects to be visible in one single website. This is possible. This is in fact what we did the Forest Risk Intelligence Hub. Forest Risk is the forest risk facility. It's in fact it's not even a project. It's a structure of the European Forest Institute to provide practice-oriented content to foresters. I said it's not a project for risk, but the content that is shown here that is stored in EU-FarmBook, they come from projects, because as I said, content in EU-FarmBook must come from projects. So they decided to have their own their own filters. You see here in Rice Alliance, we had different filters, type of solution, sector, climate hazard. Here they have focal areas, so I'm interested in wildfire, and then for prevention and preparation. And then again, you can select different regions, you can select different countries. I want this for stakeholders. And here you have, and you can also perform text search. Again, you see here the different metadata. This is the choice of the manager, and it's up to the designer to decide how this is seen. Again, there is a preview. You can, for example, have a preview of the PDF or a preview of whatever content it is. And they decided that, for example, when they click on the title, they go to the EU-FarmBook page of that specific contribution. And as what we showed here, then, for example, you can request translations to the different languages. But you can read all the content and even download the content directly from here. The main difference between Alliance and Focus Intelligence Hub is that this material comes from several projects. So it's a way to gather several projects within a single website. I will finish my explanation with what do you need to achieve this? You need two things. First, you need the API. You need to install the API of your FarmBook and program it in a way that shows the content as you want. And the second thing is that these fields that you use here to filter, they are not EU-FarmBook mandatory fields. If you go to the upload form, for example, here you will see no field that is called audience or regions. So to make these fields possible here, you need what we call additional metadata. So additional metadata is metadata that you can upload into your FarmBook, but it's not compulsory for your FarmBook. The compulsory metadata that is compulsory in your FarmBook is the one that you will find in the add contribution, what we call the upload form. The additional metadata is added by the project, specific to the project, and by now only ambassadors can upload content with additional metadata by now. So this means that if you want to replicate this, the best way is that you contact your EU-FarmBook ambassador in the different countries, as Robby has shown, and they will be pleased to make what you have seen on the screens possible for your projects. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eduard. I think we have gone quite a long time explaining what the EU-FarmBook is about and how you can use it. I really hope that you will. So maybe there are some additional questions arising. Yeah, Anda?
Yes, thanks a lot. I think one question remained unanswered from the ones that I posted. I was wondering about those projects that are already finalized. I found a few which I know, and I see content there, but probably these are not the coordinators or the project people who uploaded them, because these are already projects that ended quite some time ago. So I was wondering, was it the EU-FarmBook team that did that, or who did the work?
Yes. Yes, exactly. This was in particular the case of the Forest Intelligence Hub, is that the curator, because at the end this is a collection, so there is a curator that is an EFI staff member. They contacted the coordinators and requested the permission to upload the content of these past projects. Why? Because we acknowledge that sometimes if you ask the coordinator, please could you upload the knowledge objects from your project, the contribution from your project to your FarmBook, they have many other things to do. So in this case, as EFI is also a project partner in your FarmBook, we proceeded the other way around that. We requested the authorization and we did the job of uploading ourselves, but because we did the job of uploading ourselves because we are project partners in your FarmBook. So a project uploading on behalf of another project by now is not possible.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Then I see there's a question that do we have to upload every content separately, document, videos, events? The contributions can be uploaded what we call the batch upload. The batch upload I didn't talk about, but essentially is that instead of uploading one object by one object, you upload or you drag and drop all the knowledge objects, all the contributions, all the files, and you also upload an Excel file with the metadata that EU-FarmBook requires. And then in this Excel file, you also tell the first row of this Excel file with this metadata belongs to that file. The second row belongs to this other file, etc. And here, when doing this batch upload, is where you have the possibility to also attach additional metadata, the additional metadata that can be used to provide additional filters when you connect via the API the content of your FarmBook with your project website. By now, the batch upload, it's only accessible to ambassadors. But if you have, for example, 20 knowledge objects, and I don't want to go one, and I already have the metadata, contact your national ambassador, and he will support you in creating this Excel file with the metadata. And once the Excel file is done, he will be doing the batch upload for you.
Yeah.
Can we view the EU-FarmBook ambassadors on the website? Here, Anita posted the URL. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because one thing is the URL, so the address of the platform, that it's EU-FarmBook.eu, and then the website of the project, that is this welcome.eufarmbook.eu. So it may be a little bit confusing, but the ambassadors are found in the website of the project. So.
Yeah, and you are a bit lucky because I am, for example, one of the ambassadors you can find on the webpage. So feel free to contact and
I noticed. Yeah, thank you.
Let's do the job.
Good to know.
So thank you to presenters. I think it was very informative. I can imagine that all the members of this event, it might seem like a crazy hard thing to do, but in fact it's not. In fact it's not, because when you do the first upload, when you do the first things, it's very understandable, very easy, and well, but of course takes time to do. So you are welcome to use the possibility to upload. You are very welcome to use the possibilities to search and find the information which is relatable for you. And remember that all the searches include only the content which is within EU-FarmBook, so confirmed by projects, by European or local projects. So it should and could be reliable information for you and for your farmers. So if there are no additional questions, or are there? There are not. So thank you a lot for listening. Thank you a lot for watching. So as usual, this webcast will be available at EUFRAS webpage, and most probably on the EU-FarmBook somewhere as well. So thank you, and see you next time.